speaker?
Absolutely. Monique Decker.
Shwetal Shah, founder Explore Science. If I can have Ms. Shah come up on stage.
Shwetal, are you with us?
No.
Laura Shidale. Welcoming Laura, coming from the USA, a speaker, author, women's empowerment leader, and the author of Flaunt Your Naked Self-Worth and Reveal Your Brains, Beauty and Beliefs, and an international radio host as well. Welcoming you.
Dr. Shweta Singh, founder and CEO of a Noble IP consultancy. Dr. Shweta Singh, a warm welcome.
Naomi.
Hi, Naomi. Awesome
Always a
Dua.
pleasure to welcome Naomi Osumdua from Nigeria, the founder of the Women with Stories International, a people builder calling out the seeds of greatness in others.
Next, we would like to call upon Natasha Wagner, the community nurse, coming all the way from Australia.
Hey, it's
Welcome,
not fair.
Natasha.
We want you on our team too. Dr. Maitri Chand. Welcoming Dr. Maitri.
Next, we would like to call upon Yasmin Otwal, founder, Stand for Humanit. A big round of applause for Yasmin.
Two lovely ladies entering main stage on either side of you. Left is Dr. Maitri. She's a marriage and family therapist, delivering compassionate mental health care within her clinic and everywhere. And Yasmin is the founder of Stand for Humanit. With that, we initiate this beautiful discussion, and I invite Monique? No, that's okay. We're gonna go from the top. If we could invite Yasmin. Yasmin, welcome. Yasmin coming from the UK in this absolute sunshine of a color.
Thank you so much. Just going to put these down because I'm quite small. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, it's such a beautiful place to be, and it's a real honor for me to be here. I'm born and raised in the UK, but I'm a Punjabi girl, and today is Vaisakhi, so happy Vaisakhi to everybody. India is my first home. It's my favorite place to be, and I'm very, very honored that I have been brought here to speak with you wonderful people today. So, Stand for Humanity is a movement that I began maybe 2 years ago now, and it was off the back of the refugee crisis across the world, but it hit Europe in terms of media and the headlines in 2015. So most of you will remember baby Aylan Kurdi being washed upon the beach, and it was at that moment that I thought, okay, I need to go for myself. I need to see what's happening. I need to see whether the narrative in the media actually reflects what I'm seeing in northern France, just across the border from the UK. When I got there, I saw the best and worst parts of humanity. Things that you only ever see in films or read about in books. For somebody who's from Western privilege, I'm very aware that in the Western world, I don't see these things often. And what I did see hit me on every level. And I was going for one weekend. I just turned up one weekend. No plan, no money, no nothing. I just turned up and I said, what can I do to help? That one weekend turned into 3 years. And I'm still going back. And now we take more people. And the Western media doesn't talk about what's happening on the doorsteps. There was 65.5 million refugees globally. It's the biggest crisis we have ever seen in our lifetime. And everybody is sleeping on it. Like it's not happening. Like these are not our brothers and sisters. They are not our children. Everybody is our children. Everybody is our brother and sister. And yet humanity has just turned its back on some of the most incredible people I have ever known. And so I started Stand for Humanity because I recognized that actually this is just the way I choose to stand for humanity. But this is a wider problem that we're seeing in the world with everything. Apathy is the thing that is the problem. So apathy means a lack of caring or a lack of thinking that it's your responsibility to help, okay? So we might see something bad is happening in the world, but we think, oh, but the government will sort it out, or I'm just looking after my family, my friends, yeah? Maybe I will help in certain places. Sorry, the bell, yes. Maybe I will help in certain places. Maybe I will do something here or there, but really the big stuff is not for me. This is so important that we understand that we have the power in us as individuals to make change. This is not for governments. This is not for big corporations. This is for us as individuals to do one thing each for humanity. And that's what the movement is all about. So I'm very, very grateful I've been able to share this with you today. And hopefully you can go away and do one thing of your choice for humanity as part of what we can all do to help the world make it a better place. Thank you.
Thank you,
Namaskar.
Yasmin. It's beautiful to see the compassion that you have and then you bring that to the table and speak about it. Thank you for being with us this morning. This afternoon from the UK. A big round of applause. Thank you. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. Maitri Chand, marriage and family therapist, healing relationships, and she's from India. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I am an academic, and we do very little. Sorry. Is this better? Yeah? Okay. All right, okay. As I was saying, I am an academic, and we do very little without either a PowerPoint or flashcards. So, apologies for that.
Sorry, Doctor.
I will get it right. I will get it right.
Because they won't be able to hear you. There we go.
All right, thank you.
No problem.
Is this better? All right, okay. So, my name is Dr. Maitri Chand, and I am a marriage and family therapist. My specialties are threefold: neurology, cybernetics, and general systems theory. I know that I have just 5 minutes, so without much further ado, let's get started. What is validation? Validation means being able to tell someone that what they feel is real, logical, and understandable. Validation is not about approval of what you see or hear a person do or say, or agreement. There are two parts to validation: self-validation and our ability to validate the other. Self-validation is when you're able to tell yourself that whatever you feel on your insides is very real, is very important, and is making sense to you, not to anybody else, but to you. Self-validation quietens our self-doubts. Do I want to be feeling or thinking this? Should I be feeling or thinking something else? It just quietens that down because you are coming from a place of it being real for you. It quietens our defensiveness. You don't feel like you're under attack, even by your own self. It quietens our fears. And it allows us to let go of the pain and the exhaustion that comes along with a constant self-justification. You have to justify, clarify things to your own self over and over again. With self-validation, we don't have to do that anymore. When validation does not come our way from a person who is important or is significant to us in our lives, then self-validation is the way to soothe ourselves. Because otherwise we feel very distraught. We want the other person to tell us that what they see in us, about us, is real, is important, and they can understand it. It's not necessary. There are 5 ways, 5 steps to bring about validation for yourself and for the other. First, focus on the inherent worth of the person, yours included. Observe, listen to what the words are that this person, even you yourself, are saying or thinking. Describe, non-judgmentally state the facts, and state the unstated. Is there any feeling in play? Is there any belief that's in play? You seem angry. Well, you believe I was being mean. Find what is true and valid about the experience. When you validate someone else, even if you disagree with them, find something that you can empathize with. Say something like, I can see that when you're really, really mad, you want to lash out at somebody. When you make a non-judgmental statement with empathy, so an empathic statement, that is what validation is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Maitri, for offering us the very practical, broken down advice. It's really, I had a visual image of having that beautiful conversation with somebody, and so much of it is almost unsaid. So to bring that out, so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. If I could welcome Natasha. Welcoming Natasha Wagner, coming from Australia, a community nurse.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name's Natasha. I'm from Australia. I am a mother of 7 children. I am just going to share with you my story. Yesterday, was my first time public speaking. I shared my fear and of the time that I actually lost my voice at the age of 7. I'm not going to go into that story now, but I just want you all to know that coming here today has been one small step at a time. I've pushed myself to come. I've stopped listening to the self-sabotage. I have stepped into my truth. I am being my own authentic self. I have actually learnt today how to let go of the fear and to trust others. Over in Australia, I have my 6-year-old daughter who is in hospital. They are not sure what is wrong with her, but I have a 22-year-old daughter who is there with her and my husband. I have now learnt that I can trust others to step in when I cannot be there.
Yes, exactly. That's what we're celebrating.
Yeah. All my life it has been really, really difficult to trust others. I was never able to trust my mother because she turned a blind eye and a deaf ear on me. My father abandoned me at 8 years of age. My stepfather, I wasn't going to go here, but he abused me for 11 years. I am proud to be able to stand up here and be a part of this beautiful community and the lovely energy that you all have. And I'm so grateful that you're all here to listen to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always. But look, everybody standing with you.
Namaste.
Look, everyone. That's what we do, because we're family. That's what sisters do. That's what soul sisters do. If ever in doubt, grab the person next to you and just take that hug if you ever need. When in doubt, grab a hug.
Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Shweta Singh to come up on stage. She is the founder and CEO of a Noble IP consultancy. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harbeen Arora ji, for inviting me here and giving this opportunity. This is a great platform. Since yesterday, I'm having these sessions, and I was thinking before coming here that I'm the one who have faced many obstacles in life. I'm one of those. But after coming here, listening to the stories of female entrepreneurs, females, businesswomen, I would say, I have not faced 1% what people or women around me have faced. I'm Dr. Shweta. I hail from a very small town in India and from a community which actually says that girl child should, they don't even allow they kill the girl child in the womb only. And I was blessed to have the parents like mine. My mother was very determined. We are 3 sisters, and she was very determined to provide the best education, because one thing which she taught us since childhood, that knowledge is the best strength you can have, and you can own the confidence, you can wear the confidence in you when you have the best kind of knowledge with you. Since childhood, I don't discuss my plans to people. My father wanted me to become a doctor, but I never wanted to. We are 3 sisters, and he has 3 plans set for all the 3 sisters. One will become doctor, one will become engineer, and the third will go with the civil services. And this is what many of the Indian parents think about. But my dream was something else, because I saw my family, people talking to my parents like, you don't have a son, how you will be surviving in your old age. And now, at this day, I think they are the most proud parents in the complete family. We have 7 to 8 uncles, and my father is 7 brothers. And he is the most happiest person right now. My elder sister is doctor, she is MDS, she is practicing in California. My younger sister is gold medalist from Seoul University in nanoscience, and I am very successfully running my own company. I'm a patent lawyer by profession, and with all the disparities and inconvenience and the obstacles which I faced during my childhood while developing that, being a woman you cannot do this, being a woman you cannot do that, I started my own foundation 3 years back, which is called Women Innovation Entrepreneurship Foundation, where successfully we are supporting right now 5,000 women across India, helping them to develop training, employability skills, and making them financially independent. With one vision which I am living, apart from being a patent lawyer by profession, that every woman should be financially independent, because that brings the confidence which we wear, and that makes us proud of our own identity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shweta, for inspiring us. If I could invite Naomi. How many times have you been on our stage already?
Second time on this.
Only the second time. Only the second time.
Only the second.
Yes, I think it's your energy which is everywhere.
Thank you.
We're just consumed by that red dress.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you so much. I'm constantly inspired by the words by Edmund Burke, and it says, "The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing." Allow me to paraphrase for today. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph in our world is for good women, it's for powerful women, it's for women of influence, it's for mothers, it's for people who've had experiences, but for too long they've been ashamed to talk about the things that they've survived, not knowing that inside of them is the cure that will help others heal.
Beautiful, yes.
And this journey inspired my work at the Women with Stories International. I didn't share this yesterday when I had the honor of receiving an award for the work that I do. But the Women with Stories International was born out of a failed pitch. I was being visible online, and people wanted to know what I was using in terms of internet service provider. And so I had this big lofty dream to write to the internet company to say, how about making me a brand ambassador? And because I am smart, I said to them, how about we come up with a program that would be appealing to women? So I'm not just going to be a pretty face on a billboard, but I can give you more value. And so I came up with the Women with Stories alongside a few friends, and I never heard a word. So it became a failed pitch, but for 1 year, I also just stayed in that state of failing, and I did nothing. And then I started sharing my stories, and I started getting women write to me and talk about the inspiration. Just knowing that I went through something and I survived, it meant that they would also survive. Some other woman needs to know that you survived, and they can too. And for me, that is reclaiming your voice. Reclaiming your voice is owning your pain, owning your hurt, and having no apologies for the thing that you went through. And that's not living in a state of shame and living in a state of regret or living in a state of hurt. Because if you stay hurt, you will keep hurting others. And so today, I'm on a mission to empower women to find and own their unique stories, discover their cure, and serve others. Because for too long, we've been silent. It's time for us to receive strength, even from soul sisters from around the world. And you know, Dr. Habeen, she has no idea. Last year when I turned 40, I had a big conference, the Women with Stories International Global Conference. And immediately after the conference, I got depressed. I was exhausted. I was tired. And I said to myself, why am I trying to make a difference in the world? It's as though nobody is paying attention. And so when I got the message in December, and it was for the work I do at the Women with Stories, it was almost as though God was saying, don't even dare stop. There's work to be done. And so I choose to not be silent. And I choose to share stories of women across the world because we are women and we have stories worth sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi, for inspiring us constantly on and off the stage.
You know, we
You're
always
incredible.
think about using a live platform and not knowing how to use it. And you were just telling us that you used it for 12 months and you were able to build your brand. So anybody that's in doubt of not knowing how to use a live platform, I think they should come and approach you, definitely. Yes. So thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you, Naomi. Okay, so do let your audience know when is the parallel workshop?
I'm not sure. It's really just...
okay, so Naomi...
It's no longer an option. That's
okay.
what I'm focused on.
Okay.
Online, no longer an option. That's a full class.
Great. So people will be able to approach you after the session is over. Thank you, Naomi. Next, I would like to bring upon the beautiful Laura Shadell. She's coming from the U.S., and she's a speaker, author of Women Empowerment and a Woman Empowered Leader. Welcome, ma'am. How are you? You are beautiful. So are you. Your stage.
In order to have a voice, women must be validated. And in order to be validated, the way in which women work and show up in the world must also be accepted. Many of us have looked outside of ourselves for that acceptance and for that validation. And I'm here today to say that now is the time for us to begin validating our own voice. In business, industry, in government, the masculine way of doing things is considered the normal, traditional, and correct way of doing things, while the feminine ways of working are often seen as wrong or strange or invalid. So when we want to succeed, oftentimes we cover ourselves. We mold ourselves into other people's ways of doing things because we want to succeed. But a cover-up, by definition, is an attempt to conceal evidence of error, wrongdoing, or incompetence. So whenever we cover up our own way of doing things, we are confirming for the world that our way of doing things is wrong. And worse than that, we start internalizing the belief that our view of the world is also incorrect and wrong. We end up invalidating our own voice. The solution is to stop covering. It's to stop hiding. It's to stop working by the masculine model or by any model that doesn't feel intuitive and honest to who we are. When we show up in the world fully as we are, we encourage other people to do the same. And then everybody can bring the full breadth of their gifts and their brilliance. And together we will create a world that is better for everybody. Now, as you might imagine, that looks different for everybody. We're all completely different. We all have different gifts, passions, and abilities. For instance, I'm inspired by a wide range of women who are all completely different. The singer Madonna, Merkel, Malala. They are vastly different women who all bring the full force of their humanity to everything that they do. Who are the women that inspire you? Can you imagine what our world would look like if we were all validated for being exactly who we are? If our voice was heard and acknowledged simply because it was our own voice. I ask you today to begin validating yourself. Wear what you want to wear. Ask for what you want and for what you need without apology. Feel honest emotion. Choose yourself at least as often as you choose others. Because when the voice that you validate is your own voice, that voice can never be taken from you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. And I love the fact that in your bio it says you're metaphorically able to strip a person down, emotionally and intellectually, and that's so important because you have to, it's like an onion, you have to peel all the layers and then be the fresh you. So thank you for sharing your perspective today. A big round of applause for you.
I now request Dr. Harbeen Arora to present the awards. Laura Sherrill for Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Please step up and receive your honor, Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Natasha Wagner. Please accept your honor, Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Dr. Maitri Chand, please accept your award for Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Yasmin Otwal, Exceptional Woman of Excellence. Ladies, please step up for a group picture.
And Naomi, of course, you saw, she was awarded yesterday. Please, girls, join us for a group photo.